So we're going to be talking about the world's one, either biggest simp, or two, the biggest incel on the planet. One, because he's such a simp and he can't find a girlfriend that he decides to marry a sex doll. And two, he can be the biggest incel in the world because he hates women so much that he married a sex doll. So at first glance you're like, well, maybe this is just a joke or a sick prank. Because you see how big and masculine this man is. This bald freak show looking like a white Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Well, I'll tell you, it's not a joke. He had a wedding. He had an entire wedding at that, actually. He had his friends there, and they were all clapping. Like, okay, I can completely understand supporting your friend no matter what, but if my friend had a wedding, and he pulled up to the wedding saying that his bride was a sex doll, I would honestly leave without saying a word, and I would never talk to him again. This huge maniac looking like the porn star doctor, but just oversized and on steroids, on his stories and on Instagram in general, he carries his thing around. Now, I'm no man to judge, I'm not the type of person going around, like, you do what you do. But, well, as you can see, this huge hunk of meat is carrying this thing with more pride than gays in June during a parade. So, you're gonna have to explain to your kids why you're carrying the pretty plastic lady or the oversized Barbie doll, and you're gonna have to explain to them what it is. So, to also add up that, considering his Instagram stories and stuff, to add upon that, there's an article on this man, because, he's the world's first man to actually marry a sex doll, have a full-size wedding that's funded and everything. Well, it seems here that the sex doll is not the only inanimate object he's in love with. He's actually in love with, believe it or not, you'll never guess this. I'll give you 3 seconds to guess. He's actually in love with a Roomba, or he's scared he'll fall in love with a Roomba. Let me switch that up. He is scared. Okay, let me rephrase this. He's scared that he will fall in love with a Roomba, a vacuum. Now, I can kind of see why. It's a vacuum. It sucks. It sucks things up. If you get the sexual joke, you get it. If you don't, you're too young. So I can kind of see why there's some competition there, because the sex doll there, she does nothing. She's pretty much like, she's just there, she can't do actions. But this hunk of a vacuum, this automatic vacuum that requires no work, will suck, okay? It sucks. It does the job right. Now, if I'm in public, okay, and I see this guy, all things considered, with everything I just said, if I see this guy, I'm probably gonna hide any inanimate object I have, be it a water bottle, my phone, even my hat, even my contacts that I wear. I will hide them from him because I'm scared. Like, he's the inanimate object killer. Okay, he'll take them away from you and he'll steal their hearts, even though they don't have hearts. You see, he's been dating the sex doll for 8 months before he proposed. So this guy, let me just explain. Let me put it down for you, okay? Let me lay the foundation. He bought a sex doll. Then he was like, just one day woke up and said, I have sexual interest to the sex doll. Then he decided that he would ask it on a date. He's in his house, literally talking to a sex doll, saying, do you want to go on a date with me? Goes on a couple dates, becomes his girlfriend and stuff like that. And then he proposes. Then they finally get married. Now, my question is, how does consent work in this case? Because, she didn't say yes, okay? Now, she didn't say no either to the proposal, but she definitely didn't say yes. So you're pretty much hauling around like a bag of pretend meat, and you're claiming it's your girlfriend, which is weird. Be serious. What would you do if you saw your homie walking around with a sex doll and he just goes, this is my wife right here? Like, what would you do? All seriousness. Like, and then he gives you like a wedding card and he's like, our wedding is December 2nd. Come and watch our wedding and support us. So the thing is that, well, you're only really supporting one person here, because that sex doll doesn't have a choice, okay? The sex doll isn't just like co-signing and talking with him. He's the only one. It's a one-party project here. Like I said, I'm not the one to judge, but his standards are really bad. Like, I kind of understand where like his outlandish personality comes from. If you look at his Instagram, which I might or may not link in my description, but if you check out his Instagram, you can see that he's a crossdresser. So that makes me assume that, well, he's really exploring his options here. He's a very exploring person, I guess you can put that in perspective. So I can really see where his outlandish personality comes from, but in terms of sexuality, is there really standards for dating an inanimate object? Like, you know what? I think if I talk about this topic for like 10 more seconds, I'm probably just gonna barf my insides out and just kill myself. So I'm gonna put my cousin, aka Zaymulahhh, on the mic, and I'm just gonna let him talk for a little bit. You know, he can hold it. Let me just anticlimactically drop my mic.
It is very hard for me to like look at the situation because it's like he married a plastic doll, but at the same time it's like it's his choice, you know? So like, because I've seen worse. I've seen people get anime blowout dolls and marry them. So I really don't know how to feel about the situation, even though my opinion will never matter because, you know, this dude's like has like hella followers on Instagram, and my opinion will not matter in this situation. But I'm just saying, like, what? He married a sex doll. What? You know, man, that's just your choice, man. Maybe he just doesn't really have any, like, maybe, you know, he just doesn't have any interest in humans. Maybe he just loves, you know, 24-hour intercourse, if I should say that. But yeah, that was just my opinion and intake on the whole situation. And yeah,
I actually ended up throwing up my insides because I couldn't refrain myself from thinking about this entire situation. But while I was actually throwing up my insides, I noticed that 18% of people who actually watch my content are subscribed. So, you know, just hit that subscriber button so you can watch my content because, you know, it's really good. And then with that being said, you know, I'm just going to cut the video out here. Peace.